Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Great to see you. Did we enjoy the tennis today? How did we get on? Jack Draper squad, where are we? Happy days, got it done once again for me. That's 2 in a row for me now. If it weren't for Djokovic, it'd be 4 in a row. But what are you going to do about that? Let me know if you've had any winners. There should have been quite a few once again. Went pretty much exactly how we expected it to. We'll talk about the results when we touch on the games in the semi-finals. But before we do, like the video if you would. Get yourself subscribed if you're not. If you want to support the channel, links in the description and the pinned comment along with the picks. Just quickly as well, I know I said at the start of the tournament if we could get to 460 by the end of it, I'd be very happy with that. But we somehow managed to do that over pretty much the first video. So we are closing in on 580, on our way to 600. Do me the favour, do yourself a favour. We do go all year round, every day on the tennis over here. It'd be a pleasure to have you. But it's enough of that. We'll talk about these matches in it. So first off, over in Qatar, we've got, once again, 2 crackers. These will be just as good as they were today. But we do start with Felix Aliassime and Andrei Rublev. Now we're getting Rublev. A little, quite a decent favourite. Not too big of a favourite. If the head-to-head's anything to go off, you'd just probably bet on Andrei Rublev and ask no questions about it. Safe to say, Felix doesn't tend to have much joy in this matchup here. 6-1 to Rublev. I'm very, very happy he won today. I had a feeling he could do it. I weren't too sure. I didn't expect him to. I was a little bit shocked he won in the end. Not that I didn't think he didn't stand a chance. It's just when it got to that tiebreaker, especially after he dropped that second set, I thought that was the beginning of the end. But well done. Well done. You love to see it. How's he going to hold up in this one against Felix? A lot of people saying he's just going to win it, and that's that. Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? We've barely seen Felix all week, have we? I weren't really sold on that win over Quinton Hallis. It was a bit too close for my liking. We knew he'd get the walkover against Medvedev, so it's a day's rest. And he would have just beat Medvedev today anyway. We said he would. I know. I did say Felix plus the 2.5 would have been the only way I would have took him today, and he was just going to beat him in straight sets anyway, wasn't he? Let's be real. Not really surprised at all. I'm not. I was surprised that he was an underdog, but with that being said, we still haven't seen much of him. A lot of rest. Did play a set, but having all that time in between your semi-final compared to someone who's just, he's been going constantly all week. Rublev did have a tough one against De Minaur today. Very, very tough. I thought it was game over in that tiebreaker. I really did. I can't remember the last time I seen Rublev get this deep in a tournament. Can you? It certainly hasn't been this year. You're probably going back to, now don't quote me on this, but it's probably over the summer last year. I'd say over the summer it had to be. I can't remember the exact time when he started to fall off, but if you ask me, I'd probably say it was around then. So yeah, even though we know he's more than capable of performing on the day, as we're very well seeing, this does somewhat feel like uncharted territory at the moment for Rublev, doesn't it? It's been a while. It's been a while since he's played not only this good, but he's been this far. De Minaur played well as well, he played good. He played really well. It was a very good game. Cracker to start the day off. Does he beat Felix? Apart from what we've seen this week, which has been very little, he has been unbelievable so far this season. Like we've mentioned pretty much every fucking tournament. 2 titles already. Why would he not fancy himself for a 3rd? Now, I'm not saying he's going to get it, because if he does get past Rublev today, I'm not so convinced he gets past Lehecka or Jack Draper. but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Although Rublev's been playing surprisingly well this week, let's not let our judgment be clouded. He's still not in the best of form. He hasn't had the best start to the year. A lot of you may be shocked that he's still in the tournament. I understand that. Felix Auger-Aliassime, overall on the season, has been a lot more consistent. He's been, he's looked a lot more in control of his games. He's just been better. That's the fact. That I said it in the Medvedev game, and I'll say the same in this. He's just been better. He's been better than most. Yeah. When you realise it, it is true. He's been better than the majority of people on tour. I would love Rublev to beat him, just like I did today against De Minaur, but here's my thoughts on this, and hear me out. I wasn't brave enough to take Rublev today against De Minaur, and he was an underdog. No, I don't think I'm brave enough to take him today at 1.6, 1.7. If it didn't take him against De Minaur at that price, I don't think I'm going to take him today against Felix. That's not the reason I'm not going for him. It's the unknown that concerns me with Felix. He's been fantastic. You can't fault him. There's been no reason to go against him. And he's barely played. Like, he should be good to go. He should be good to go. Like I said, if history is anything to go off, you'd say he probably doesn't stand a chance. But I think the Felix that stands before us today, in my opinion, like, this is probably as good as he's ever played. Maybe the best version that we've probably seen so far. I don't know. It's definitely up there. And it's safe to say this version of Rublev is a lot different from, the Rublev of tournaments gone by where he's notched up all of those wins. It's true. I'd be looking at Felix to beat him, But one last thing before we move on, and I will say this. The big thing that's putting me off, other than like the price and thing about him being a dog, and then I don't want to take him as a shorter price and whatnot, that is quite frankly irrelevant. I just, if this game was amongst, like, say, let's say, like, the first round, if there was a lot of games to pick from, and it weren't one of the two semi-finals, you wouldn't go anywhere near this. You wouldn't. You probably wouldn't have went anywhere near it. Maybe when it was like 4-1, 3-1, you would have done, but over the past few months, you wouldn't have touched this game. So just because it's one of the two that stands before us today, don't feel like you have to take this one. I don't think I would at any other point in the tournament. I'm just going to go back to what I say all the time. If someone gives you no reason to bet against them, then don't bet against them. And in all honesty, Felix has given us no reason. No reason. Let's forget about the Davidovich-Fokina game. It's gone, innit? It's gone now. As much as it pains me and as much as I probably don't want to see it, not for any personal reasons, but I can't help but think Felix might just edge this one against Rublev tomorrow. Rublev plays as good as what he did against De Minaur. He stands a very, very good chance of winning this one. And I mean a very good chance, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. Like I said at the start, it's been quite some time since we've seen him string together back-to-back wins like this and go this deep in a tournament, especially with this calibre of opponents too. So, I don't know. I'm just very uncertain about it. Can't wait to watch it. Don't know who's going to win. I would probably have to take Felix to win it. Say spread's probably only 1.5. You may as well just take him to win the whole match, I don't know. I'm probably not going to touch it. If I've got anything for it, obviously it will be in the pinned comments, just below the timestamps for those that may or may not know about that. But yeah, we'll move on. It's enough time on that one. And then the last one we've got, it's going to be a cracker, isn't it? This is going to be brilliant. Let's just talk about it, innit? Jack Draper Yuri Lehecka head-to-head is one apiece. Jack Draper winning the most recent of the two. Excuse me. Jack Draper beat him last year. They both played each other last year. It was in Paris, yeah, indoor hard court, straight sets in Paris, and then right at the start of the year, for those that may or may not remember, Lehecka did beat him in Adelaide, and he also went on to win that title. No, I remember Jack Draper was bullying everyone in that tournament. Like everyone. And then he ran into Lehecka and he just neutralised him. I think Jack Draper has improved so much just in the 1 year, so much from the start of last season to the start of this one. Yeah, same can be said for Yuri Lehecka. Obviously, you know, we've just been talking about Felix then, haven't we? Lehecka's been one of the best players so far this year. Absolutely unbelievable. I doubt many people, I mean, apart from us, we did say Lehecka plus the 4.5, didn't we? Admittingly, I weren't so convinced he was going to win the match, but I knew it was possible. He's been playing just as good, if not better, than Alcaraz, let's be real. That 4.5 was a steal. That was so disrespectful to have him as a foot. Like, Alcaraz was 1.2. 1.2, that was such a big favourite. I did think that was a little bit disrespectful, but that's what you're going to get with Alcaraz in it. Little bit surprised he lost, but then again, touching back on the Luca Nardi match, that second set, we did say, if you're going to pull that sort of shit against this version of Lehecka, you're going to get punished for it, and that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. It's very rare that you predict how Alcaraz is going to get beat in it, but if you've been watching the games, it seemed, I don't know, it seemed fairly possible to me, you know, it didn't seem like that much of a task, really. Now, Draper today against Berrettini, you know, he did drop that first set. It was very unlucky, very fine margins. And also, like I said, if Berrettini was going to do anything in that game, it was probably going to be in the first set. We called it. And I quote, "It's the pace that's going to kill Berrettini," and that's exactly what got to him in the end. He just couldn't hang. I said it's the fitness. He won the first set, and I thought, okay, sound. Let's see if he can sustain this in the second. And he couldn't. And as soon as Draper took that second set, I went, yeah, we've got him. I'd say easy money. You know, the set 2 and set 3 turned out to be easy money, but slightly concerned in the first. I won't lie to you, but I've got faith in me boy. I've always got faith in Jack Draper. You have to admit, compared to Yuri Lehecka, we have not seen nowhere near as much as Draper on the court. Pretty much half the amount of games. You know, on paper, you look at his run in the Australian Open, you go, oh, he got the win. He got far enough. He was all fucked up, weren't he? He was all fucked up. He's went 6-1 this year, and his only loss was that one to Carlos Alcaraz. It wasn't even a loss. He just couldn't play. Had to pull out. Lehecka has went 13-2. Only losses obviously being to Djokovic in the Australian Open, and then he had to retire against Hubert Hurkacz in Rotterdam. Apart from that, he's just been too much for everyone. What do you do with this one, eh? I've got Jack Draper 1.75 here on the exchange. Now, is it just me, or I'm not like surprised in the odds, like, oh my god, why is it like that? But providing Yuri Lehecka's just beat Carlos Alcaraz in 3, and Jack Draper has just beat Matteo Berrettini in 3, and providing how much more we've seen of Lehecka now, I'd say you probably say he's probably a little bit more trustworthy at this point in the season. I wouldn't call you crazy for saying that. Yeah, I was probably a little bit surprised to see that he was a decent underdog in this. 2.3. No, I don't know what I thought the price was going to be, but I didn't expect that. Why is that? I would have assumed that you've just beat Carlos Alcaraz, who was undoubtedly the favourite to go on and win this. I'd have thought you'd have been just a slight favourite of anything, but he's not. Maybe that's telling us something. Maybe it's not telling us anything. I don't know. What do you think? Who are you going for in this? Evidently, they're both more than capable of beating each other on the day. Draper obviously winning the more recent of the two. If you want my opinion, folks, I am expecting a very close game, probably the best one. This, in my opinion, is the real final. I think whoever wins this takes the title, and rightly so. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who are you going to trust? As always, folks, you probably, you know, you probably know who I'm going for. You may have your reasons, whatever they may be, but I've most definitely got mine. And it is not because of favouritism. It's really not. I think in a spot like this, when it's going to come down to the finest of margins, I think Jack Draper is just a little bit more explosive. And I think he may have nowhere near a lot, but if anything, maybe just one or two more tricks in the bag than Yuri Lehecka on his day. Couple that with the fact that he's a lefty as well, and you don't get many of them, so that always causes a couple more problems for people. I don't know, will it make a difference? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Very impressed with the Lehecka game against Alcaraz, but Alcaraz looked a bit dumb against Nardi. I don't know, is that a bit of a trick spot? He looked decent against Dimitrov, but he's been fucking struggling, he's not fit. Fabian Marizon, we expected that. Same with Draper, we expected him to fly through his first games, Popper and O'Connell, and then I knew he was going to beat Berrettini, although I didn't think it was going to be easy. It was obviously going to be the biggest task so far of the week. I think Jack Draper beats him, I'm not going against them. I cannot go against them at this point, folks. This is what happens every now and then. There comes a point in these tournaments every once in a while where you've been taking two people all week and then they get pitted against one another. You have a decision to make, don't you? And I feel like I've already made mine. 1.75. I'm going to be willing to put my trust in Jack Draper once again. I hope that he sees this one through. But like I said, it could go either way. I will not be shocked at all if Lehecka wins this one. In a spot like this, you've got to just forget what you've seen recently and just go off what you believe. And I believe Jack Draper's just a little bit better on his day, disregarding everything that we've already seen so far this season. So with that being said, if it's not obvious enough already, I'm going to be taking Jack Draper. Third time in a row. Let's go get it again. Where are we at? Jack Draper squad. Let's go get it. I think he wins this. I think he wins this game. And if he wins this game against Lehecka, he better go and win himself the title. We'll see what happens. But that does us over in Doha, as has been the case all week. This tournament in Brazil it's been quite dumb, to say the least. Couple games going on now. I've got 3 games for you for tomorrow. As we've been doing, I'll just leave this up to you. My main focus is in Doha. I don't want to rock the boat. But if you've got anything good for Buenos Aires, Rio de Janeiro, please do let me know. So quickly, before we finish, Ugo Carabelli, Jamie Farrier. Odds are split pretty much right down the middle. I think Farrier would have been a dog against Munar today. Carabelli did get it done against Demir. I've seen a few people putting Demir out as a shout today. I don't know enough about him. And what I have seen of him in the past, it's been very 50-50. So let me know what happened with that. Sebastian Baez, big favourite against Seng, although Seng has been very, very good. I had a little look before. 1.3, Seng's already beaten before. Nothing of interest for me. And then we've got Zverev against Komisanya, 1.15 for Zverev. I imagine it's just as easy as that. I really do. But it will remain to be seen. And with that being said, folks, I'll be saying good night to you. Very well. Let me know what you're going for. Best bets, all that stuff, parlays, anything. I'm always interested. Don't be shy. Share with the group. For those that don't know, everything I'm going for is always under the timestamps. It used to be just in the top, but since we've introduced the timestamps, it's now under the bottom. So be sure to check that out. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah. Enjoy the semi-finals, folks. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Let's go get that cash for the third time in a row. And I'll see you tomorrow.